Hey everybody, what's going on? Adam Agro here.
Week of Osiris.
Today we're going to be reviewing Deadly 30 for the Overshield.com. Now, what is Deadly 30?
Deadly 30 is a zombie survival, tower defense kind of game.
And it's 2D, right?
It's 2D, yes. It borders on the graphic style. Kind of reminds me of Metal Slug in a way.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. Very, very hard.
Yes, very tough.
One of the key things is leveling.
Yes.
You definitely got to level up, unlock all the guns, and then you got to explore and collect scrap to buy new guns.
Build your base, buy new guns, different stuff like that.
So there are lots of areas to explore. There are, what, 6 total areas?
There's 6 total. From left to right, it goes mountains, cornfield, Black Forest, which is your overall base, where you set up your defenses and stuff, the snowfield, and the castle. And as you go from left to right, it gets progressively harder on each end.
Yeah, but you got to make it back within a certain time limit, or else the wave will start, and it will kind of cycle through, like, dusk and afternoon.
Dawn and all that stuff.
Yeah, so you kind of gotta be careful. There's a lot of ways that you kind of have to play it very, very safe. We found ourselves not going much further past
Day 7.
the first screen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we would basically... The game is very, very hard.
Yes.
Unless you play it a certain way. Which, between me and Wake, we figured out a way to do it. I figured out, hey man, you gotta level up, restart. Level up, restart. And then you gotta grind for the top tier guns.
Yeah.
And he found out, hey, why don't we just go through the first area and then go back?
Yeah.
Instead of going all the way to the
through,
left.
And then turn back around, go back the way you came, and grab all the scrap. Because a lot of what falls into this game is it's RNG. Like, it's very
it's all
RNG.
random, yeah.
So, I mean, you could find, scrap and vehicles and stuff at one point, and then you go back through, and it's not there again.
Yeah, or even your other two
teammates. Yeah.
Teammates. So, yeah, it's it's hard and it's random.
Yeah.
I think this is why we saw so many thumbs down on the Steam page,
yeah.
Because, dear God, if you're not smart about it, you're gonna fucking hate it. And even if you are smart about it, you can still get screwed, and we'll talk about that a little later. Now, it is a good game. It is a really affordable title, and it does have the full support of trading cards and achievements, which is awesome. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of replayability.
No, there's honestly not. I guess if they would add more like levels to it, or more weapons,
or co-op,
or even more levels. I mean, the max level is only 13.
Yeah,
and that's you unlock everything after that point. So.
And unfortunately, it doesn't have controller support.
I wouldn't see controller support really working for this game, though. To be honest.
I mean, they'd have to make it like almost a twin-stick shooter, but in a 2D plane.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, the controls are nice, but I don't know. I'm just really a stickler for.
Well, controller. I mean, a lot of people can like controller support. I personally can do with or without.
So yeah, but going into some of the issues we had. Where do you want to start off with issues we had?
Oh man. Well, when you go in to new areas, sometimes you start a new area, you're at that little bulletin board or whatever you want to call it. Enemies can already be spawned at the edge of the screen when you get in. You're already taking hits and stuff, and starting out, you don't have the armor or anything like that to take the additional hits. So,
so there's just some kind of cheap hits that kind of suck ass.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer. The melee was also a bummer because you want to be able to conserve ammo.
Yeah,
but there isn't a separate button to do melee. You just kind of have to be like within a certain distance of them, or have no ammo at all.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping like the E button is to check everything, and I was like, well, maybe if I hit E, maybe I'll just swing my knife randomly or whatever. And it wasn't like that. It only uses your knife within close combat or whatever.
Or your pan, or I don't remember what the Russian had.
He had like a giant machete or whatever it was.
Whatever that was. The crates or the coffins or whatever they were that you had to shoot
like
to open.
Treasure chest. Yeah, you had to shoot them open, and you're wasting ammo getting them open. As you could knife them,
Yeah, if you could just knife them and get the scrap, then you wouldn't have lost ammo that you would have to buy for. So getting scrap, especially if you're having bad RNG luck, is a fucking pain in the ass.
Oh yeah.
So
granted, it's on the ground. It lays on the ground in piles in each area, but finding the trucks and the chests are the things that are going to save your ass the most time.
Yes, I mean that's the most amount of scrap, and yeah, the AI. The AI is helpful when you're scavenging, when you're just on the 2D plane.
Yeah.
For the most part, they're pretty good, because you can be... I mean, you can shoot when you're building a fence and when you're harvesting for scrap.
Yeah, you can shoot when you're scavenging.
But it's good to have the AI also, like, putting bullets into enemies.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. And a positive about the AI is when they're fucking shooting their brains out, you're not losing ammo for their guns.
That is a very good thing.
That is a huge positive.
You don't have to refill the ammo for the AI unless you're playing that specific character. Personally, I found myself playing as the guy with the rifle because his second tier, I think it's like the Winchester 800 or whatever, is really good.
Yes.
Another thing that I learned is they don't really tell you early on. I kind of found out way later is that crouching and shooting does additional damage. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, so I mean, we figured out a lot of stuff through trial and error, but initially, if you start playing this game, you're not going to be all that positive about it because it took a lot of learning to do, and
it gets hard quick.
We put in some hours. But back to the AI. When it comes to defending the base and defending the generator,
they are shit. They will just leap off the roof in the danger and get killed. Once the AI is dead, they're basically dead until you find them again.
Yeah, they're gone.
That's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing as well.
Yeah.
They're not permanently dead, so.
But yeah, also placing turrets and boxes, you can't move them once they're placed.
Yeah.
And so if you accidentally misplace a 40 or was it 4,000 scrap turret?
Yeah, it's 4,000 scraps for one turret, and then I believe
you can't move it.
6 or 8 for the big ones.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the turrets is you can place them on the roof, and you can actually jump through the roof to reload them.
Yeah, so you can stay on the ground floor, be crowd control, and have the turrets. That, again, was something that Wade kind of just figured out to make the game work for him.
Yes.
Because the game wasn't really working on its own. It was really hard.
It wasn't being very friendly.
Yeah, because you need to be on the bottom to repair your fences, but you also got to make sure you can reload your turrets. So he just kind of made it work, and it was very interesting. So there's a lot of figuring out to do when it comes to the actual game. So, but in regards to losing your team later on, like when we get in the 20s, we need all 3 of them to be alive to the point where if they die, we want to die.
Yeah,
restart and this is where the biggest fucking screw over happened, and it happened to you, so I'll let you talk about it.
Basically, what happened is I believe I was on wave 28. I think 28 or 27 or 28, one of those days.
Okay. I thought it was 27.
I lost 2 of my people. And like you said, basically you want to die, so you still keep your characters. My turret killed the person, the very last enemy,
the last Colossus.
And what happens is after you beat each wave, it saves
automatically
each day, which is a very big issue. There is no save on your own free will; it auto saves, which
and it won't let you go back and retry a wave with what you had.
Yeah, there's no wave selection or whatever. So
I mean, he had all 3 of the members. We were cruising for the getting the chopper with all 3 survivors, which would have been fucking amazing.
Yeah, it would have been good.
But 2 of them died due to idiocy. Basically, they wanted to crowd surf in a mosh pit full of Colossus, and they died. So he was trying to get himself killed really quick before the wave ended, and it saved. And the turrets finished off the wave. We had to start all over.
Yeah, because at day 28, there's no way you can do it with one person. Even with the RNG of just finding anybody, you're only gonna find maybe one person, and it's not enough.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's a bummer. I mean, the option to replay a wave or return to previous save would have saved us a lot of fucking grief, and it took time to get through those 30. So it's not like, oh, that's going to make it harder to add gameplay, to add hours. It's like, no, I don't want fucking hours, okay?
Yeah.
I want replayability.
Yeah.
And options.
As later going through the game, I started realizing why there was a lot of thumbs down. sadly.
Yeah,
I mean,
sad.
it's a good game.
It's for the price, and especially because we know, like, every Halloween coming up, it's going to be, like, 50, 60, 75% off. It's definitely worth checking out, especially for the achievements and the trading cards.
It just needs a little more love and constructive criticism pushed towards them.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, they can keep it alive with patches, and who knows what they can do, which is weird, which is why I normally used to just review retro games, because you can't patch them and change the entire game.
My thing about the game, it would be nice if they did something along the lines of Left 4 Dead does, like another campaign, maybe. Yeah,
that could be. I mean, but there's a lot of good in there, like the humor.
Oh,
the cutscenes and the humor.
The humor was good.
Is fucking good.
When you get the little tiny like cutscenes or whatever, I mean they're short, but they get the point across so quick of the humor. Like one of the cutscenes later on is when you meet the Red Colossus, and the dude's freaking out. He's like, "What the hell are these things?" And then it pans, like he rolls it over, and it shows this creepy fucking smiling Colossus, and it's great.
What kind of monster is this? How can this even happen to somebody? This virus is unreal.
Yeah, the variety of enemies is quite amazing.
Oh,
for
yeah.
how small of a title it is.
Yeah, the variety of enemies were really good. They bring in things like, I mean, there's different colored zombies, there's skeletons, there's the Colossus-looking dudes.
There's the boomers.
There's the boomers.
Whatever they're called.
Yeah, there's like they do recycle them. They change the colors of them, but when they recycle the colors, they're more effective. I believe it's the blue ones. Their spew goes further, and it lasts a longer duration when it's on your character. Same thing with the Colossus. The green ones, you know, you can take them down easy. Then they made the red ones, which are fucking annoyance.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once you basically finish a wave with, like, a boomer or a Colossus, they become standard enemies in the overall world, though. So
yeah.
It kind of slows down the process of getting the scrap and everything, so...
Yeah.
It can be fun, but it can be annoying at the same time.
It can, but I did enjoy the weapon, like the weapons, upgrading the weapons, buying armor and the boots, and all the cool stuff you can buy to increase your likelihood of surviving the night. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There was the one weapon mod, which is really cool, the laser sight.
Yeah.
And that also showed a little bit of humor. It's like, it doesn't really add anything to the game, but damn, it's cool, or something like that.
Yeah, it basically, I thought when I got it, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to buy this. But the good thing about it is it was auto-equipped. It didn't cost me anything. It didn't really do anything. It basically was like, hey, this is so you know you're actually hitting your targets. So it was nice to have it. One of the really good things that you get way later in the game, like it's like the next to last weapon, was the fucking alien gun.
Yes.
That thing was, it's very OP and over the top.
Well, the description for it said, like, buy alien gun, win game, or something.
Yeah, it's like the most powerful weapon in the game.
It was fucking hilarious. And I want to stress again, in the strategy that we found, which was basically go through 10 waves, leveling, and then restart. When you restart, you keep your level. So once you get to max level, you keep it.
Now, granted, if you do have teammates, you will lose them.
You will lose a teammate. You start back off with number 1 with the soldier. So you have to find the Russian, because the Russian is the one with the alien gun. I mean, they all have, you know, top tier weapons. Yeah. But it's the alien gun because, like, the rifle with the headshots.
Yeah.
And, like, it does splash damage, right?
It has, like a splash damage. When it hits, it explodes and releases these, like, little green orbs that hit the other enemies and basically does damage to them.
It's quite an intense weapon, and it makes the game fun. But the thing is, you basically slowly, you know, get all of the, like, bottom tier achievements. Yeah. Level up, have fun with it. Do not expect to get halfway through. You have to fight to get to wave 15.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking hard.
Once you reach the halfway point, there are some waves that are very, very forgiving.
Yeah, which wave was it that was just like the absolute fucking hardest? Like, was it like 9 or something?
Yeah, it was like 9 or 10. It was just ridiculous. Like, you had to have all 3 people. You had to have some form of
luck.
Strong weapon.
Which is also luck.
Or turret.
Which is luck.
It's all very, very, very luck driven.
So yeah, wave 9, I remember that within the first 15 waves, there was one wave that was just literally too hard for where it was placed.
Yeah.
And And you basically have to be almost max level to get through that.
Yeah.
So I think we actually max leveled during the progression of
The second playthrough. I think it was max leveled probably about day 16.
Whereas if we didn't get lucky, we probably would have restarted the game at level 13
and redid
a couple of times, which we would have had to do if we wanted to try to get the achievement where all 3 got on the airplane. But
another thing that I left out about the scrap, you have to very, very carefully manage your spending as well. That's like a money management type thing. You have to very carefully be like, oh, I know I'm going to need this. I know I don't need this. So you have to balance it, basically.
So you want to pick a class early. Because once you pick a class, because the AIs do not use your ammo.
Yeah.
So pick a class, only buy ammo for that class.
Yeah.
But all the upgrades were useful.
Oh, yeah.
Like, armor was very useful.
The upgraded fences were useful.
Boots made you faster, which means you can, like, go through all the terrain, look at the scrap a lot quicker. You can make it back to the base quicker. Not high priority.
Not high priority,
but not useless. There's a lot of, like, items I find in games that are just like, well, that's fucking dumb. That you know, we don't really need that. But everything by day fucking 30, you fucking need all of that.
Well, I felt like my thing was I didn't buy armor. I didn't buy boots until way later on down the road because I was like, I'm not taking that much damage. I'm not taking that many hits. I'll just keep buying the barricades and building them up.
But we were going slow.
Like,
we weren't getting a lot of scrap between waves, and it was a lot of kind of cheesing the game with how we set it up and how we were reloading the turrets and how we were building and we got lucky with the AI a lot because they tend to just like leave the base sometimes, but they were just kind of sticking on top of the roofs and we got lucky during one of the playthroughs, but a lot of the times they'll just wander off.
Now granted, if you don't manage to go out and get a whole bunch of scrap, every day you complete a wave, they will reward you with scrap. Be like, hey, you survived. Here you go.
Good jorb.
Yeah, good jorb.
So aside from all that, there were some technical difficulties that we found, and we'll just talk about those before we wrap this up. The first one was I actually can't remember the order, but the first one we'll talk about was when the AI just went completely batshit. It just ran in the middle of the map and stayed there and wouldn't move.
Yeah. Even when I progressed to a new screen, it was basically like a child. It wandered off.
It wandered off to the middle. It wouldn't stay near you.
It kept taking damage.
So yeah, you were at the beginning of the level. It instantly ran to the middle of the level. So you had to get to the middle where the AI was, and then you tried to keep progressing, and it just stayed in the middle of the level.
Yeah.
And you had to go back to the previous zone, which was your base, in order for the AI to start acting normal again.
Kind of normal, but basically in the end I had to fucking reset.
Yeah, reset, because the AI didn't know where to go, ended up getting killed. It lost a lot of health.
It was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible.
So that was a bummer. I mean, we put a good amount of hours into Deadly 30, and it only happened once.
Yeah.
And then there was the weird loading one.
Yeah, I'll explain this one because this one's kind of hard to explain. So basically, when you complete a wave, it gives you a little prompt. It'll say day like 13 survived or something like that. It'll give you all these little stats for like salvage received and all that different shit. Basically what I did was I loaded into the game. I completed the wave previously and I loaded into the game. Before it prompted me with that little screen, I went to sleep. Now, if you go to sleep in the game, what it does is it skips to the night. Mm-hmm. Well, when I slept in the bed, it skipped to daytime. So I was able to fight the wave in the daytime instead of at the nighttime. So I could actually see everything that was coming. It felt very, very slowed down and easy for some reason fighting that wave. I don't know what it was, but...
Well, I mean, you're only supposed to fight them at night, and you have a very, very limited range of view.
Yeah.
So fighting during the daytime was really, really interesting.
Yeah, it was like Colossus, Boomer, Colossus. It's like, oh, I can see everything. It's so great.
Yeah. Luckily it didn't happen during one of the themed waves where we knew what was coming the entire time. But it was very beneficial during that wave that the glitch happened.
Well, the nice thing about the waves is the little titles they give each wave kind of gives you an indication of like, oh, I know what to expect. It's these things. Like one of the waves is, oh my god, fatties, and it's like, well, okay, I know what the fuck.
Yeah, the boomers, and then what was it, ketchup and mayo?
Yeah, it was like the skeletons and the red zombies. So
which it has an M rating, so why not call it blood and cum?
That would have worked.
Yeah, that would have been fucking awesome. I would have been like, hell yeah, this game's metal as fuck. But opportunity missed, I guess.
I would say, yeah.
So in the end, for Deadly 30, taking into account the price and the full like achievements and trading cards and stuff like that, how would you rate it on a scale from 1 to 10?
I would give it a 6 out of 10. I feel like that's a very good rating for this game, considering it still needs a little bit of love and support for it.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's not far off from being a pretty good game. So
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, even though.
I say it's I agree. I agree with the 6 out of 10. I definitely say it's something that a lot of people should try because there's not many games out there like it.
The only ones I can think of are the free-to-play ones, like on Newgrounds and shit. So.
Yeah, but I don't like. I like the Steam achievements. I like the trading cards. Everyone knows I love trading cards. I like the humor. It's good. It's definitely worth a check out. I don't think it deserves as many thumbs down as it gets.
Yeah, I don't think it did
but
either.
I don't know.
I understood
question
a lot of the reasoning behind some of the thumbs down.
I question if we weren't doing this review if we would have put as much time into the game and kind of figured it out. So you have to figure it out. You have to just really want to survive that Deadly 30.
Yeah.
Well, that was our review. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Meat, huh? Where'd you get the meat? Comrade. Comrade.